Hi there, this is video U 5.1, so it's the beginning of the chapter on statistics. And to start statistics, we're going to look at measures of central tendency. And the first one we're going to do is mean. And in general, the idea of measures of central tendency is trying to find just one number to describe a bunch of data. So what I ask you to do is imagine you've completed your grade 12 and whatever post-secondary training you've got your degree, your diploma, your certificate, your red seal, whatever you're going to get, okay? And you're looking at 3 different companies that you're going to work for. Now, based on this, which company do you want to work for? And why? Okay, truth is there's no right answer. But just looking at this data, at least I personally find it really hard. I can see that company A's got a couple of people that get paid pretty well and some that are not bad. Company B, I don't know. Oh, it's got one guy that's got a really good paycheck and some that are really low. And then company C, it looks like everybody pretty much gets the same amount. Okay, so what we're going to do is use this example in a number of these videos to figure out which company might be the best one to work for based on monetary, I was going to say retribution, but that's not the right word, based on how much you get paid. And I know there's a lot of other things you want to worry about when you're getting a job other than what you get paid, but it's a good start. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about, and there are 4 different things I believe we're going to talk about for measures of central tendency. First one is called the mean, and you know what? It's just the average. So in math, they use different words for words you use every day. I'm not 100% sure why. I probably should have researched it. It's called mean instead of average. It's the same thing. Okay, so mean, and it's got a couple of symbols we can use. It's either got this one, which is X bar, or this one, which is mu. Mu is a Greek letter, just like pi, right? Now, specifically, if you take a statistics class, which you might take if you get into the BA program, this becomes really important, where X bar is your sample data. So you're only sampling some of the population, not the entire group. So if I wanted to see what you guys thought of my videos, and I'm going to get you to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, if I'm doing a sample, I would talk to 5 students. Okay, so 5 out of 30. That would be a sample. And then I would use X bar to describe that. If I wanted to find out what everybody thought, and instead of just talking to 5 students, I talked to the entire class, all 30 students, then I would use mu to represent it, which is a population data. Talking about the population data, so you're talking to everybody. Does that matter today? Nope. But you might see these symbols later on, so beware, no big deal. Mostly I'm just going to go mean is equal to the sum of the data points over the number of data points. So what we're going to do now is we are going to calculate the mean of each company. And I didn't leave a whole lot of room, so what we need to do is we need to add up all of these numbers, and then we're going to divide it by, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 numbers. So that goes on the bottom. So let's see if I can, okay, I'm going to be honest. Let's see if I can get it right the first time. 245 plus 27,000. Oh, messed up already. 245 plus 27 plus 42500. Oh, there's a big one. So a grand total there of 765,500. Okay, I'm gonna fess up with you guys. Oops, should move my paper here. Normally I work down, but if I do that, I'm gonna run out of room. So I'm actually gonna work horizontally in this question. Divide by 10 is 76,550. I'll put dollar signs because it's money. All right. Oh, if you want, you could do that too. Okay. So what I would like you to do now is turn off the video and calculate the mean for company B and company C. Do exactly the same thing. All you got to do is total a column, and obviously this is out of 10, and that's out of 10. So company B is going to be something out of 10, and company C. All right, so turn off the video, do that calculation. Okay, I trust that you did that, and go figure. The means for all the companies came out the same. So that means the average salary, or the mean salary, I'm just going to say average because that's what we normally say, at each of these companies is $76,550. Well, if you look at company C, that seems quite reasonable. They're all in the $70,000 a year. But if you look at this one, that seems kind of weird, because really you've got the one person that's getting 362,000, the one person that's getting 112, and everybody else is like really low. So for company B, this is not a good descriptor. Company A, well, we've got one at 245,000 and 162, and then a lot of them are, quite a few of them are low too. So it's not a very good descriptor there either. So the mean is a good way to describe the data if it doesn't have any outliers. So a value in the data that is very different from the other values. Okay, so if you plotted all this stuff on a graph and it kind of came out looking like that, so it's kind of symmetrical and it's got some low numbers and some high numbers and it's kind of all the same, it's going to do a good job. But if your data suddenly has, like way out here, it's got a bunch of data, then mean isn't going to be a good example, right? So company B, right, would have a whole bunch of information, like a whole bunch of data down at this end, and then like somebody at like 112, and then that guy at 300 and, oh, where'd he go? 362, and it just gets messed up. So the mean does a good describing company C. It was all kind of around there, but not either A or B. So depending on what you're doing, the mean may or may not be the best way to describe your data. Okay, imagine that you're taking a Math 20 course and you did really good on every exam, and then, I don't know, your kid was sick or something happened, somebody stole your notes, who knows? And you said, oh, the heck with it, I'm gonna write the exam anyway, and you really bombed it, right? So if you get all these great marks and then you have one really, really crappy mark, it's gonna mess up your average or your mean. Which is why a lot of times teachers will, I'm not saying I'm gonna do this, but quite often teachers will, what's the word? They'll drop your lowest mark. I normally do that simply because, you know what? I believe life happens, and especially as adult learners, there's just going to be times where stuff happens and maybe you have an assignment that's not the greatest. So let's take a look at what you can do well and just kind of ignore the ones that didn't turn out so great. Anyway, have a great day.